Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with this report claiming that Xavi, Laporta in agreement that Barcelona are still under construction and they need time. So Xavi is going nowhere. We are going to be discussing more on that report as we move ahead. Then to conclude the episode, talking about this other report concerning manager Xavi, claiming that the manager did criticize the performance of all the Barcelona players yesterday. Of course, he was so angry in the dressing room. We are going to be discussing on some quotes from this report that Xavi made after the 3-0 defeat to Bayern Munich, telling the whole team that it is a big step backwards. So guys, before we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. Barcelona's recent 3-0 defeat to Bayern Munich at Camp Nou confirmed their elimination from the UEFA Champions League group stage for a second season running. However, the loss conveyed a deeper message, the fact that the club are not still ready to compete with the top dogs in Europe. This feeling was shared even by the club management, including President Joan Laporta and head coach Xavi in a recent meeting. This has been reported by Spanish journalist Javi Miguel of AS, who suggests that the two had a meeting shortly after Barca's defeat yesterday. The two met in Laporta's office where various topics were decided. However, at the end of that meeting, it was admitted that this team is in fact under construction and that were various issues that played a key role in stifling the club's performances in the Champions League. Injuries in particular were a thorn for Barcelona, with the Blaugrana missing the likes of Ronald Araujo, Hector Bellerin and Andres Christensen in crucial matches through injuries. Their absence made Barca overly reliant on the services of players that are not considered first-choice options. Another key reason was the refereeing mess that happened in a couple of matches, including the game against Inter Milan, where the referee did not award Barcelona a late penalty and chalked off a legitimate goal. Even in the game against Bayern at the Allianz Arena, there were decisions that could have gone Barca's way. But in the end, fortune did not favor the Catalans, who will once again have to compete in the Europa League. Xavi, though, remains well backed by the board members, including Laporta. However, as the club continues to underperform in the Champions League, it is imperative that they do well in the Europa League during the second half of the campaign. Definitely, that is what most people will expect, that this team is good enough to win the Europa League. But with Xavi at the helm, anything can happen. I can't put my trust all the time that we are going to win. Last year, Barca were the favorites, to be honest. When we relegated to Europa in the disappointing fashion, we didn't even go through the semi-finals. When Frankfurt came to the Camp Nou, dealt with us, all that was in the quarterfinals. So we just can't run our mouth again, because Xavi have proven sometimes to be stubborn, if I want to say. His tactics sometimes does not really go into how the opponent is playing. So let's just see how it goes. But right now, on paper, you can say we have the best squad to go to the Europa and win. So this report is saying that yesterday, after the defeat to Bayern, Laporta had a short meeting with the manager, Xavi, in his office, where they spoke about certain issues regarding the state of this team right now. And Laporta admitting that he still trusts the manager and also acknowledge the fact that the team is still under construction. So it is what it is. We just have to accept the fact that Laporta is okay with everything and understands Xavi's position, and also understand the fact that we had some key injuries that were so bad, came at a very bad time when we needed them the most after the first international break, when I don't know if it was a curse or whatever, but the injuries came at a very bad time, and games that we need to win to progress, we couldn't win because the players that were available were out of form. I don't know if they were not the first choice of Xavi. If Gerard Piqué, most especially, we saw the errors that it cost us in the Inter Milan clash. And you can also put some blame to the referee in the Inter Milan game, the referee in the Bayern game in the first leg. So everything just like everything was just against Barcelona. But I think more percentage for me goes to Xavi. More percentage. Of course, I was happy that he did himself acknowledge the fact that he should be blamed for our fall, our humiliation in this Champions League this season. I think every other thing should be secondary, whether it's a referee's bias or whatever, whether it's the injuries. But Xavi had those players that we can still beat Inter in our stadium. We can still beat or draw Bayern in our stadium, but we didn't do that. I think more was because of a bad tactics from the manager, who is still in the learning process from all indications, and he needs to learn. And it's just unfortunate that he's learning in the Barca job. Definitely, the squad that we have should need an experienced man who can come and do things, because we have one of the best squads in the world, to be honest. Not only in La Liga, but we have the best, one of the best, if not the best, in Europe. So Xavi just needs more experience, which he doesn't have as it stands. Then on to the next story of discussion. Following Barcelona's loss to Bayern Munich and their elimination from the UEFA Champions League, Javi Miguel of Dario AS has provided an insight into the mood within the dressing room during and after the contest at Spotify Camp Nou on Wednesday. FC Barcelona learned of their exit from the competition ahead of the kickoff against Bayern, after Inter Milan thrashed Victoria Pleasant 4-0 earlier on the night. With their fate sealed, Xavi is believed to have tried to motivate his players by appealing to their pride, as he was aware that it would be difficult to put up a strong performance in that situation, especially against a top side like Bayern Munich. Having seen his team being outplayed in the first half, the manager, as per report, once again appealed to his players to step up during the halftime, urging them to perform for the 80,000 plus fans who had showed up at the stadium, even though the team was eliminated already. However, that too did not have the desired effect, as Barca were largely listless yet again and failed to make any inroads, eventually falling to a 3-0 defeat. So after the match, Xavi took the team out on the pitch to thank the fans for their support, following which he addressed his players in the dressing room. And as per the report, Xavi is believed to have criticized the performance of his players without pointing out any particular individual, stating that the display was a very big step backward. The manager is also reported to have told the team that they were far inferior to Bayern and stressed that they cannot compete in Europe if the performance levels are like this, while also adding that the fans did not deserve this. However, after reproaching the players, Xavi is understood to have tried to fire them up by pointing out that the season is still a long one. He further stressed the importance of winning La Liga now, stating that it is the top priority now and that they should prepare to fight till death to win the title. After his chat with the players, Xavi reportedly met President Joan Laporta, where the two discussed the failings in Europe and agreed that the team is still very much under construction phase and needs time to compete against the elite in Europe. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.